Hi, Ms. Bell. How we doing?
Hey, doing so well. How are you?
I'm very well, very well. How's fifth grade? How's fifth grade doing?
Fifth grade is doing so well. We are still thriving. We're excited. Students are still learning. So we're just trucking along, still doing great.
All right, so let's get started. Like I said, second week of the full synchronous piece. Tell me a few wins from this week.
Oh my goodness. I think first of all is that we get to do this. All of my students reported that they still feel like they're growing as learners. And honestly, as a teacher, there's nothing else that I could ask for. I'd really like to think that they're going to walk away from this trimester knowing about ancient civilizations and flight and fractions, but what really matters is their resilience and their teamwork and their perseverance and their grit through all of this. Um, the kids have been challenged to harness and ramp up so many of their skills, like organization and technology use and communication skills and self-regulation, all the while establishing new spaces and routines, maintaining their integrity, and still honoring the structures of and the boundaries of their homes. And all of this is paired with learning this new structure of distance learning. It's can be sometimes so complex and so exciting, but maybe even through all of this, they'll learn to make their bed without being asked, or take up a new hobby that doesn't require state-of-the-art technology like electricity.
That's terrific. I think let's take a step back real quick and think about we've just pivoted basically 3 weeks ago to an online classroom format. What kind of insight do you have looking back over the last couple of weeks and where you guys are now? I mean, it's the pace has been unbelievable. But what
Right.
does that look like in fifth grade right now?
Yeah. What a great question. I think primarily establishing a positive perspective is the fuel that has kept us moving forward and will continue to move us forward. And we're fortunate that as individuals, we get to choose what our perspective is in all of this. So I can either see the pace and the change as a burden, or I can see it as a blessing. I can say, yes, this is my job, or I can say, yes, this is my joy. Um, I've learned that what we choose to magnify really becomes the biggest thing that we see. So we can either choose to magnify the challenges and the hurdles and the hardships, or we can celebrate small victories and many milestones and the things that really make us joyful in this process. And for me, that's my students. I get to celebrate something new with my students every day.
I think it's fitting that the sign that sits behind you immediately, grateful,
Yeah.
and I immediately touching on what you said there. So, was there any point in time this week or even last week where you could see the mission, the pillars, in action in your class?
Yeah, absolutely. And even outside the boundaries of my virtual classroom, I guess. I can't think about our pillars without first thinking of our technology team and their leadership and resilience and patience and support that they've provided for literally everyone in our community has just been phenomenal. So I think that's civility and service at its finest. Our administration hustling behind the scenes to build guardrails that shepherd our students. And they're doing the same for faculty and families to keep us all moving in the right direction. The excellence of the faculty. I mean, teachers are stealing every free minute that they possibly can before the sun is up and hours after their kids have gone to bed to prep for our other kids that we love. I mean, teachers are showing up and bringing their best every single day. And I think that's certainly commendable among all of the shifts and changes that we're experiencing with this. Our students have demonstrated growth mindset in a way that I've never seen before. Their resilience in this process just continues to amaze me. And they have been so incredibly patient as we have worked out the kinks. I told them that there was going to be an abundance of trial, but also an abundance of error. So their patience as we have sort of navigated the new of all of this has just been remarkable. And of course, the fortitude of our families. I mean, parents are jumping in with 2 feet, getting boots on the ground to make sure these kids have everything they need to be successful. Sometimes working from home themselves, or managing so many kids all at one time in their households, and also sort of dealing with all that comes with what's happening in our world. And inviting teachers and entire grade levels of students into their living room and to their kitchen table. But they're doing this because they love their kids and they want to make sure that they're still learning. So it just, the way that our community has pulled together through all of this and just continued to move forward with such momentum is so commendable. I can't think of a season in my teaching career that I've ever seen civility, service, respect, excellence, and integrity like this. And honestly, the technology, I think, might be the foothold, I guess, that allows us to keep that momentum, but it's really the people that propel us forward. We're social distancing, yes, but I joke with my students, I like to think instead that we are physically far, but socially solidified. So we're in this together, and I think we really are positively Powhatan, because people matter, and our kids matter, and we get to do this.
That's just powerful. It's so well said, Isabel. Absolutely. You know what's interesting is, so I've chatted with a couple of people over the last 2 weeks like this, and I think one of the things that has emerged is over and over has been classroom culture, and to be able to have that solid classroom culture that I'm sure that you established day one back in the fall.
Yeah.
One of the key aspects of being able to do this so quickly and almost effortlessly revolves around how you guys operate your classroom, those relationships, everything that you talked about today, and that's what I hear. I don't know if there's anything you want to throw in along those lines.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think Mr. Funk mentioned it early on, that being able to springboard into this experience on the firm foundation of those relationships is a huge contributor to the overall success. I think that when we model love and mutual respect for our students, they reflect that right back to us. So I think when I talked about their patience and their resilience, it's so important for us to be human with them, so they see when we struggle and how we handle our own struggles, so that when we're in a situation like this where there's bound to be challenge and there are bound to be hurdles that need to be jumped, that they recognize that we don't expect perfection because we ourselves are not perfect. So just reminding students that, hey, we're all human and we're all going to struggle with this. But I'm going to show you grace, and you're going to show me grace, and then I'm going to show you some more grace, and you're going to show me some more grace. And it's just that give and take and balance of exactly what you said, just continuing those strong relationships with our kids, and just reminding them that first and foremost, we just love them.
Ms. Bell, I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you for hopping on here for a little bit. It's good to see you. Good to chat.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So continue success and enjoy the weekend.
Thanks. You too.